So welcome back. So today we are going to work. Wait, have I managed to put the right number in all of this? Let me check real quick. Maybe I haven't put the right number. 17 and this is 18. Yeah, so it's the right number. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, look at that. Okay. So yeah. So what it says here is, if you have a boot position, we won't be able to find any whatever, because we are actually searching for this. And Linux kernel should be shown if there are in a boot partition. Okay. And well, yeah. So this was aimed at OS detect. Now we have different OS detect. So we would have OS detect boot Linux or something like that. So yeah. So you can have the Linux root partition here, not the /root, but the root partition on SDA3, and the boot partition is in SDA2. So you need a way of asking this, which is fstab, etcfc file. Okay. So we might need to ask with two different menu entries thing or something like that. And in theory, we should have Super Grub2 Disk 9.7 thing that also had this. So I'm not sure. Maybe we can test and see how it worked. So maybe I can take a look at where the hell is this? SGG legacy, is this it? Oh, look at that. Binaries. Okay, let's do CD-ROM. It's going to be much easier. So let's test this real. So press ask. Let's test this CD-ROM. Where's the CD-ROM? Wait, doesn't work. Oh, wait a moment. This is yeah, this is not secure boot. So BIOS. I want to test the BIOS thing, because this did not have. Did not have. So whereas number 4 is CD-ROM. Okay. So we had, look at that. We have this thing. You have this Super Grub2 Disk in 2 seconds, so then it goes here, so that it's easy for you to change whatever it is. So look at that. Choose language and help. Choose language and no help. Quick menu help, which I guess is plain what you could do with all of this. Now there is no actually it's English Spanish. I mean, that's interesting. So right now in Super Grub2 Disk, you don't have any help. I mean, the options are just both options and that's it, because this fixed MBR and so on. This is how you boot anything. This is more than one. Root, more than 2. Manual. What the hell is this? File not found. Root file system. Okay. Choose title. Root file system. Choose title. Choose right. So first of all, you select the Linux kernel, which is this thing here. Oh, look at that, this regex that I made myself. So it's asterisk BKGL whatever. And then you set the kernel device, kernel file, and then choose init rd again. And okay, so choose root file system. It's safe here. Then you select VM Linux and the init rd. So actually what you do here, if I'm not mistaken, is just select the root file system and that's it. Oh, look at that, this is config file. So you don't get an idea of that if you are using config file or if you are doing one thing or the other. This is when you manage to save the group in the MBR and so on. Here you could choose, but this is the one we are interested on, which is just select root file system and then init. So there was this thing, select file. File not found. What? So are you telling me that this version ls, oh my god, how the hell do you manage? So config file, and then you tap something. So are you telling me that you cannot mount no such partition? Oh my god. So ht1, what the hell is this? There's no ht2 where you have the actual partition. That's interesting. So maybe X4 is not the thing that you can mount with this old disk. But yeah, the idea is that you get asked for what you want to boot. And we could even select the three staff and then try to boot from there. That's something that that is. Wait, are they? They're still with this 12.6 test thing. Oh my god, React OS, hurt. So yeah, okay, let's see. I wonder, I mean, I don't know what to do. So I have one idea, which is you've got here the menu, and then it's select file selected file system. It's whatever, it's Ubuntu. Then you've got here selected kernel is whatever, and selected init rd is whatever, and then it's boot selection. But in theory, once you select this kernel, you get this init rd. So what we should do actually is select the kernel and then the boot selection, and that's it. So the file system is just a way of selecting the you know, the UID for whatever you want to boot. Yeah. Maybe we can ask the file system and then later on. But this is not a thing that we do now nowadays. It's asking one of these. So you have a list, and that's it. So that's really concerning to me, that you have a list, and then with the list should we do something with submenus where we already know what files we already have? So maybe we have a menu which is okay, so I have a menu with the different kernels, and then actually this is a menu where you can select the fstab thing, which we already have, of course. Actually, there was this thing about how do I read a file. I'm not sure this hasn't already been fixed in here. So if I run this thing here, how I'm supposed to be reading a file? I don't think this exists. I don't think they have fixed this. So let's suppose, how do I pipe? So if I cut, I don't know, if I cut anything here, maybe, yeah. So if I cut this GPT-2 ATCF tab thing, okay, not fs tab but issue, okay, how the hell do I get this into variable? Okay, I mean in what's the name, regular bash you can do something like this, but this is not what you're supposed to be doing. Help. So set pager 1 and help dot file. I mean, if we had a bash file, we could maybe get some values from the dot file. It sources whatever there is there, although a bash file wouldn't. So cat file, okay, help cat, show the contents of a file. Not so useful for us. Authenticate, clear, cat file, chain loader, CMP, continue, CPU ID, crypt mount, cat mem, oh my god, dump out, size echo. I mean, yes, you can echo eval. Wait, is there an eval? What the hell is this? Eval prohibited by secure boot policy, so I cannot test this thing. But eval is something, isn't it? I mean, what the hell is this eval thing? So if we go to the manual, we should have complete manual somewhere. It's this one here, isn't it? What the hell is this eval thing? Okay. Concatenate arguments together using the single spaces separator and evaluate the result as a sequence of group comments. So I guess that it's just, yeah, just eval. So as bash eval, so you can run whatever is inside of the strings. No, this is not something that we want to have. We want to use actually. So how the hell do you manage to read a file, source file, because I want to read the fs tab I want to read this issue, and I want to find fs tab, but the thing that I want most to do is to read the issue. So there's this head thing. Yeah. Lot env, list env from a file. List env. What the hell is this list env? Is like this, no list env, test expression, test load, test block arc. What the hell is this test block arc? Are you okay? So there are a lot of stuff that we cannot use in secure boot mode. So I'm not sure it's something that it's worth. Verified attached. New kernel. This is not funny. So what about okay, let me see. What about Grub2? Read file variable, file line. Yeah. A last variable, whatever. Search by file. Wanted to know how do you read the contents of a file to variable at boot time in grub.tft. So init on whatever. Config file environment block feature. Environment block feature. What the hell is environment block feature? Use source command to include another config file, but the non-config file will change contents. Source is line macro. Yeah, so you want to source whatever. Okay, let me read all this stuff. It's often useful to remember a small amount of information from one boot to another. Oh, yeah. So it's a file. Load env, save env. Using known. Oh my god. Group save default. Okay. Anyway. How can I guess? You don't need to capture the ls. You need to look up search. Yeah. So I guess we cannot do this, and because why would you do that? It's not very nice to have all of this, but you know. Okay, let's see how the hell do we manage to do this properly. So I guess that we have to search for fstab files, and you save it somewhere, and then you have the submenu. So we can try to work with that and see how it goes. Yeah, why not? In any case, we will need a system to test this, but then don't get ahead of ourselves. Okay, let's work with this thing. So OS detect Linux should be OS detect boot partition Linux. So boot Linux. I don't want to make this so big. So OS detect boot Linux. So this is actually Linux from boot partition thing. Linux from boot. Yeah. So let me see. I mean, are you going to have a boot partition which is at btrfs volume, and you're going to piss me off with having to support btrfs again? I mean, actually the thing is that you want to remove boot from here, and that's it. So maybe it's not as difficult as it seems. So I'm not sure about that. So if I remove boot from here, you no longer have this thing. So I don't know how to deal with this thing properly, if you ask me. So I think you want to remove this thing here, and then you want to remove this thing here. I mean, not this one, but the other one. Maybe we can have two slashes at the same time. I have an idea. So So from here we have this boot path thing, which is what you put here. So now the boot path is just removed. Wait a moment, we need to remove this boot/boot thing from here so that it goes directly into the other one. The problem is that we are missing the slash at the very right. So if we are missing the slash, let's just start again. I mean, let's copy the Linux one again over all of this on the bottom so that I know what I'm doing now, that I know what I want to do. Okay, so first of all, let's call this Linux from boot partition thing. Okay, then we can say something like Linux boot so that it's a bit more easy to understand what you are doing here. And this should be like this, I guess, Linux boot. So like this, and so btrfs should be the same thing. So you've got the boot partition just after this thing here. That way you have the device and you also have /boot there, which is going to be much better. Okay, so, oh my god, I didn't remember this is part of OS detect. Okay, yes, because we have the order and so on. So if you have a kernel in here in boot, can you have more stuff? I have no idea. Maybe we want this not to be exclusive. I mean, this is not exclusive. Okay, so we are okay. We're good to go. So okay, so first of all, let's try this boot path thing. So this boot path thing goes and includes boot. So in theory, we should be able to remove boot from here, and the same thing should happen here. Okay. I think that this is the right way of doing this. Then you've got all this stuff here and there. So the question is how we convert this submenu entry into a submenu that has all of the, I mean, we're going to do it first here because btrfs we don't have any of that. So actually what we want to do here is just have a label and an UID, and that's it, isn't it? I mean, so here we have the sleep, and then we have this thing here, menu entry title thing, which has the actual, I mean, the menu entry title without the, yeah, just this thing with points, and that's it. So let me see how the hell do we do this. So first of all, we need to find out if there is any ATCFS tab. So if we don't have that, there's no need to do anything else. Okay. So let's see how the hell do we do that. And we need to save. So it would be nice to save FS tab and you know, the UUID for this FS tab, although we can actually do this like this and just make a loop here. Wait a moment. So we can have a menu here which has all of this stuff. Path title. I mean, having something like path title, but you know, but with this FS tab thing, yeah, I don't know how to do this. So do we have some menu here with FS tab? That was my first idea, because it's just reusing what we have already done with kernels. But we can have a full loop like this for ENS tabs in one FS tab, two FS tab, and so on. And then do whatever, and then you do the loop about finding or not the different kernels, you know. So once you do this, you can have here some kind of, you know, kernel 1 with one FS tab, you know what I mean? Then kernel 1 with two FS tab, and then you do the other one. Let's see. But if we do that, we need to make sure that we can sort of show every kernel related to a you know, related to one of those FS tab thing. So it's like a path title thing that we have here. So we actually want a path title but related to FS tab title, so that we can have all of these, and then we've got the device here. So maybe it's worth trying to take a look at this path title function and just, you know, so path title and path menu. So we want to do exactly the same thing with the let me see, what's the name, with the FS tab thing. So this is something that only makes sense to be in this file, in this OS detect file. So let's see how it goes. So instead of path, this is going to be FS tab. So let's see how we manage to replace all of these. Path, yeah, path. So this is the fs tab title. Okay, so fs tab to test, printed fs tab, fs tab, fs tab. So you export printed tab. That's interesting. So why would you do that? Hey Gary, how are you? Trying to get sense of all of this. Printed fs tab. What the hell do we do with? Okay, so path menu has a menu entry. Fs tab title is something that it's used. Wait a minute. Fs tab menu. You can ask your question if you want to about boot or whatever. So I'm not very sure why I have this one Google search at a time. Okay, nice. Well, this is what I'm developing is a program which name is Super Grub2 Disk, and you can damn it, this is not the way this works. Yeah, let's just reboot. So this is a program that lets you boot into your system. So you boot the USB and you can let the program to search for all of the operating systems that you have on your system, including EFI files and Linux files. So you can boot into Linux even if you have deleted some boot files like grub.cfg and so on. And yeah, so it might be useful to have a copy of Super Grub2 Disk and another one of Rescatax, which is the other program that I do, which helps to fix problems, to fix boot problems. So if you want to take a look, it's everything under Super Grub Disk. So it's just going to supergrubdisk.org, and here you can check at Rescatax, and you can check at Super Grub2 Disk. There's a tour and everything, how it works. And Rescatax lets you fix a lot of stuff. So if you take a look at this, what's the name? This screenshot, you can see how you can see all of the options that you have, so that you can fix the Linux boot and so on. So if you are nearby, this might be cool for you, as you say. In any case, now let's focus on this thing. So apparently we have a path menu and a path title. Okay, so path title is the one that writes the path menu or not. Okay, so what I actually want to do is to write the fs tab title with whatever path we want to put it in there. So it's path to check, the actual path, and the fs type. So the actual path, it's because we had those devices that were different with this bullshit, what's the name, with BTRFS. Okay, so let's try to figure out how to use this. So in theory we are already using this path title thing here. So now what we want to actually use is, let me see, this path title. So this should be fs tab title. So the difference is that the path, which is the path to check, is the first one here. So the path to check, it's actually the wait a minute. So I guess that you actually want to have an fs tab def and fs tab def here, and an fs tab fs type also, even if it's nothing that fs tab, yeah. So here we should have exactly the same thing, other than this would have fs tab subball path thing, and that's it. Okay, look at that. Export printed path. And we had this printed path thing was reset in many places, and we should do the same thing. Was printed path, isn't it? So in theory we should do the same thing about printed path being empty. Sorry, printed path being empty somewhere. So look at that. Meta option, process option. I mean, this is not very good stuff, because you don't want to do this, but you know. So process meta option. So this is printed fs tab. So let's try to do this first. Process meta option. Okay, so process meta option, here it is. So you just have to do something like, okay, we also have this fs tab. I mean, actually this fs tab is related to finding fs tabs. So yeah, actually this is Linux boot fs tab. Let's skip Linux boot fs tab. Wait a moment. Maybe we can fs tab title. What the hell is this? So Linux from boot partition fs tab thing. I think we don't get to the 20 count that we had before. So this is what it is. So now where the hell is this thing? I mean, it should give me, I don't understand. I thought I knew how this worked, but it seems I'm not sure how this works. So fs tab path is actually this thing here, printed path. Actually, wait a moment. Printed path, printed LBS FS tab. Okay, perfect. So this needs to be done on many other files, which is where is it? Process option. Let's move this thing to the right so that okay, process option is here, so I'm going to do exactly the same thing. And the other one is process OS detect option, which is here. So probably we have all of them in the same place. So that help us. And then tools, but actually tools is what we want to be doing here. So now we should be able to find out this thing here many places, and yeah, I mean hit diff, this is what hit diff is about. Yeah, now we have in everything which needs this, and also this OS detect put Linux stuff. Okay, so we have this thing all over the place, which is how you manage to have this thing. Okay, so now if we go back to the OS detect boot Linux thing, you have this FS tab title that we have on the these two different stuff. So now we need to make a big loop on the FS tab stuff, which is going to be rather confusing if you ask me, but we actually need to do that so that it's much easier for us to get in all of this stuff. So maybe we can actually put all of this loop in one place so that we don't have to deal with this so much, because this is a for loop, which is, or maybe not, I mean how do you do the save root? How do you do this without too much trouble? I mean, do we do the big for loop, or do we put all of these in one single devices to loop? I mean, actually this thing here, devices to loop, exclusive OS. I mean, there are a lot of function. I mean, if you want this to put into a function, you are actually putting a lot of stuff, but if you don't do a function here, this is going to be much difficult to tackle according to all of these variables that we are going to have here and there. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure about this. So yeah, for one stand we have a lot of stuff, for one another stuff it's another lot of stuff. So this is about looping. So we could put this and say this is function loop, and then put everything that this function needs to work into a function, so that we can have more abstraction here. And then this for loop from the outside, it's much easier to work on. You know what I mean? So that we don't have this insmod regex thing inside of this, and then inside of the other loop, which is going to be more confusing to work on. The other thing we can do is just prefix everything that we have here, so that it's, or maybe prefix what's in the outside, so that it's what we are used to. So we can maybe, okay, let's do one thing. Let's save what we have right now, so that we can check the differences, and that way it's much easier to work all of this stuff in one go. So this is like boot Linux from boot partition number 1. I mean, we're actually missing a lot of stuff, which is just call this stuff from other places, and that's it. And so the idea here is to do a for loop on fstab devices. So it's the same devices to loop, exactly the same thing. Although, wait a moment. So fstab is a Linux. So if we have found a boot, we have found yeah, I don't know. So we have this, and then this other loop should be closing here. Okay. So in theory, all of this should be moved to the right. Okay. This is what it is. So here you need to do what you usually do here, which is doing all of this stuff. Okay, but instead of being here, you're on the right, and this is again fstab def, fstab device, and so on. So fstab def is fstab type, and so this is fstab uid, which is the one that we want to use. Okay, so once we are there, you wonder perhaps, maybe not, I mean, I don't know if you can use this without the rehabs. That's something I'm a bit confused. So the idea is that you can do this. So here you would say that for fstab file in device etc fstab, I mean, actually it's only going to be one of them. So wait a minute. So if device how the hell do you test? Okay, so if test minus f, this file here, which is not the device but fs type device. So if this is the spy device thing exists, then you can do all of these thing that ends here, if I'm not mistaken, and then that means that you can move, oh, where the hell is this? You can move all of this to the right, and hopefully this makes sense to. So this done is this 2 here, and then the fee is just below it. So yeah, so fs tab so if this exists, then it's a valid fs tab thing, and then you've got the this fs tab title thing, and now we have something new, which is the label for the device thing, which is actually, I mean, what you want to put here is all of this stuff, which is fs tab device, fs tab dev, which is without a device, I guess. So it's this, it's all of this. So let me bookmark this, and let's open this thing here on the top. Okay, nice. And so here on the bottom, we're going to have more options here passed to the different Linux entry add stuff. So the first one, it's going to be fs tab dev. Okay, then wait a minute, fs tab dev. Then we're going to have dollar fs tab fs type, yeah, why not, and fs tab UUID. I mean, do we want to write down the fs tab dev? Wait a minute, do we want to have any of these here? Linux kernel UUID. I think we want to have the UUID, and that's it. And that way, yeah. So fs tab UUID. Actually, what you actually want to do. So fs tab dev, there's no need to have an fs tab dev because you are not reading anything from fs tab. You already have the title. So actually what happens here is that you don't need to change anything. So it's just kernel option. The only thing that you want to change is fs tab UUID, and then fs tab title will manage to get the yeah, I don't care. In any case, if this is not working as expected, you know, fs tab UUID. Okay, so now we have done a lot of stuff. So this is number 2. I mean, we're going to squash everything anyway, so hit add menus, htdos detect, put Linux stuff. Okay, so this is number 2. We still need to be able to work with this. So this is os detect linux.cfg, the one that we want to redo. So it's in all of these files. So OS detect CFG thing, OS detect CFG, OS detect. So yeah, I mean, I don't know where to put this. Oh, thank you for the likes. You can say something on the chat if you want to. Next file that we have here is, I mean, this is much easier when you have two screens and you can use them at the same time, but I need to show you everything, so that's why it's like here. So everything, okay, so everything which is here, let's say, yeah, let's just put the same order as in here. So boot Linux, nice. The other one is OS detect everything. This is here. This, wait, hello B13R7. What the hell? What's this name? Birl? I don't know. Hello Birl. Okay, so OS detect boot stuff here. This needs to be fixed. If you have any boot question or whatever, you can ask it. Okay. OS detect boot Linux. Main.cfg. So this is the important one because it's the one that has the order. So this is going to be Linux from boot just after here. So this is Linux from boot partition thing. Yeah, and I think we should be fine, at least in order to test this and see how the hell it looks like, because I'm not very sure if this is going to work. I mean, the first problem is that this is not going to be working because I don't have a boot partition, but I'm going to create one. I'm going to simulate one because otherwise it's not worth it. So this is def 42. Okay, and yeah, I have to check out, I mean, I have to do this thing here. Okay, nice. Then I could do this thing here and build the ISO. So once we have the ISO, we will be able to test all of this. Beer. So Gary or beer or whatever, because now we are four people watching. I mean, there's a lot. It's a lot of people for me. I hope you tell me how can I download Linux. Oh my god. Are you talking about the Linux kernel or about the Linux distribution? So now I can boot this thing here with let's go with BioStaff because I don't need secure boot stuff. So number 2. So boot manually should have a new option, which is Linux from boot partition, which is not going to detect anything, so we should get something empty. Wait a moment, what the hell is this? Recovery single. Oh my god, this is not very nice. What the hell have we done here? So you've got the different partitions because you are changing each time, but this does not make any sense. Valid file name, yeah. I don't know what to tell you, so maybe you should search for what's maybe you will be famous one day, I'm sure. I mean, usually what you should be doing is something like what Linux distribution should I use? And then I mean, all of this stuff sometimes it's not very good, but yeah, Linux Mint or Ubuntu should be the right stuff for doing Linux Mint, Ubuntu, MX Linux. I like more MX Linux, but you know, Ubuntu has the best community, but it's not something you know, you don't download Linux, you actually use a distribution which has Linux on it, unless you want to study the Linux kernel. So then you do go into linux.org something. I guess. Is it this one here? No, it's not this one here. Linux kernel. So probably there's a URL kernel.org. So if you go into kernel.org, you've got the Linux kernel stuff. Yeah. So probably this is the original kernel thing where you can download the kernel, but you usually want to get the distribution. So I'm a bit confused of what the hell I have done here on this OS detect boot Linux thing. Okay, so we have this loop here of stuff which it's getting all of this stuff here. Device/boot. Wait a minute. Okay, device/boot is something. It's the boot path. So there is not such this boot path anymore. So I should be removing this from here, if I'm not mistaken, and hopefully this will fix it. Okay, so get the status. Pentium, oh my god, why do I get so much new questions today? AKS. Wait a moment, please. I mean, let's say this is for. Give me 5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, and I return. So Okay, we are back. So hopefully now this will be working as expected. So we wait a minute. Oh, I have done this the other way around. So hit reset, then do all of this. So AKS made a question, and you know, which Linux distro is called for all hardware? So these are called lightweight distributions. So I'm not sure if MX Linux. So you have this thing here, DistroWatch. This site, distrowatch.com. Okay, and you can see how it has. Why the hell was this thing here? There is a way of getting the different types of distributions, okay? And it's not as easy as, okay, look at that. Search, so find submit distro here on the top, okay, and then you go for advanced, I guess, or search, and here you can select distribution category, and I mean thin client, that's not from Bram. There should be subcategory for old computers. Okay, so find submit distro, search distributions, then you go into distribution category old computers, submit query, and you've got all of these distributions that are for old computers. So what you need to find out if it's you can put 64 bits or 32 bits program, you know, and you can also use Super Grub2 Disk in order to do so. So you go into software, Super Grub2 Disk, and at the very end we've got this download link. So download a stable, and you can see how there are different images. So this is an hybrid one. This one supports both of them. Okay, then it's not useful. Yeah, I thought that you could use this in order to know if some distro was going to work or not for you, but you have to make sure that the distro supports 32 bits if your system does not boot in 64 bits, because nowadays most of the distros works only in 64 bits. So you can take a look at all of these distros. This is not a Linux distro. This one was very good, but it's not updated too much lately. Based on Debian stable. Yeah, look at that, Pentium 3, and you have a G2020, which I have no idea what the hell is that. Does it have 64-bit or not? G2020. How much? Oh, it might be very old if it's only $8 or so. Do we support 64 bits? Intel 64, okay. Okay, so you have 64 bits, so you don't have to care about distribution being able to boot into 64 or yeah, no, my PC it's much newer than you have asked. You have to tell me the RAM of your computer. I mean, if you have 4 gigabytes of RAM, then you are good to go with Linux. I think with a graphical user interface. So let's edit the video just quick. So question: how to download Linux? Question: lightweight distribution for an old computer. Okay, so the video description has been updated. Yeah, so I'm not going to tell you my computer, my PC configuration. So, Puppy Linux, Alt Linux. Let's take a look at the MX Linux requirements. Maybe it has said somewhere MX Linux. So MX Linux you can select which is XP. Yeah. Try MX Linux. Try MX Linux. That's the thing I think it's going to be best in your interest, because this is based on Debian and whatever. Yeah. So that's it for the question. Okay. Let's close most of this. So I have built this, isn't it? And now we are going to test this and see if it even works. So press ESC number 2, boot manually Linux from boot partition. Hopefully this does not. What the hell I'm doing wrong here? So we have all of these labels that appears again and again. Recovery single. So in each one of the loops, this is. So I guess that. Well, maybe this is not working as expected, because if fs subtitle so path title should only be shown once. If we have exactly the same def, ha ha ha. Well. Let me try this again. Let me take a look at this. So what you're telling me is that the Ubuntu FS label being duplicated is just a bug and that's it. So we've got this Linux boot thing here, which should work. Invalid file name. What the hell do we have here? Kernel option number 9, and fs type is number $kernel. So apparently we are not getting the kernel thing here properly. Why is that? Why is that? Message retracted. Once again, someone that doesn't want. Wait. What happened here? Yeah. I don't know all of this. I don't understand. Anyway, so some people seem to be shy when they write on chats. Doesn't matter what I say about your message. It's good to know what you wrote when the video was live, because then you've got the context why the streamer is saying something or not, and so on. In any case, I'm having quite some problems here, so I don't know if it's related to this ins mode regex or is it something else that we are getting here. So this kernel file seems to be empty on each one of the loops here, and that's because, yeah, that's a very good question. Why is that? Maybe we should have done something else so that fs temp device. Wait a minute. Is this right? fs temp device with parentheses. Yeah, that's right. So if the only change is that fstab UID, and if we have managed to find out, thank you, Birl. If we have managed to find out this file here, why is this a problem? So the device is not the same one because we loop all of the devices. So, but in any case, when you loop the device, so the printed device is the same one, isn't it? I mean, why would that be a problem? I don't get what I'm doing wrong here, and that's the problem with all of this. It's very difficult to debug. So is this done here? fstab devices, and then we have an if file here. Get device. Yes, PC configuration 4 GB of RAM and 64-bit hardware. I have tested Kali before, but it's throw me group error. I can't resolve this, but I have seen video of you some channels group error. Yeah, I mean, it depends. Yeah, you know, so if you have a group error, it depends on if it's a BIOS installation or if it's an EFI installation. So if you have, let's see, I mean, BIOS firmware EFI firmware. Okay, and then you can decide. So EFI firmware might be might be compatibility mode. So you either have a BIOS firmware or you have an UEFI firmware, which can be worked on EFI or in a compatibility mode. Okay, and thanks for your information. Resolve my issue. Okay, I don't know how, but that's nice to know. So this group error thing might be because file system error. Then you can use rescatex to fix it. Okay, you can find this thing here on, where the hell is this? So if you go here on supergrub2disk.org and then you select software rescatex, you're going to have this program, and one of the options that we have here is file system check force fixed, which would fix some kind of error. Sometimes the problem is that you don't get some space after. So you've got the MBR and then you've got the first partition and then you have the second partition. So if you are in BIOS, you need to leave some space here. So sometimes it's the first partition needs to be starting at 2 MB or 5 MB. That way you can have MBR group 2 for MBR and first partition. Okay, so that this starts at 0, this starts at 1, and then you have the first partition at 5, you know, a 5 MB. And yeah, sometimes it's just a matter of leaving here some space so that you can install this thing here, but you know, it depends on the actual error that you have. Okay, you can also use Super Grub2 Disk to put into your system and then figure out if there's something wrong. So that's what Super Grub2 Disk is all about. Put into your system. Yay. Okay. And here I'm trying to develop this thing here so that I can understand why this is working. I mean, I am trying to prove this so that it's much useful. So what else are we doing here? So what we want to do is to debug what's happening with all of these devices, because I'm not sure this is working as expected. So we've got the tools thing where we have this path title stuff. So if the path to check is different than the printed path, but why is that? It should be the same thing always. That's what I want to figure out. So here we have this path title. We shouldn't have different devices. It should not print this. Should only print this if it's different. So what we're going to do right now is to do some check here. So you want this to be something like different. So this is path to check, and printed path are different, and then are the same ones. Okay, are the same. What the hell is this? Are the same. Okay, and I think I can sleep here like 5 seconds for all of these and see how it goes. So hit status, menus, SGD tools. So this is going to be the back path title. Later on we will remove this commit or whatever we want to do. Let's close this running virtual machine. Let's keep this handy so that we can boot all of this. Okay, let's go. Press ask. This is number 2, so that we have the USB. And then what we want to do is put manually here and see what happens. Oh, look at that. GPT-1 and GPT-3 are the same, then they are different. Huh, this is not working very well, if you ask me. That's why it doesn't work at all. The second one is always empty. That's concerning. Why the second one would be always empty? What the hell have we written here so that doesn't work? Oh, it's printed path, not print path. So, and this is not, so different print. So these are the same, no print. Okay, let me fix this real quick. So let's amend. Now let's reset this so that we can build again. We can close this. Maybe we should set 2 seconds instead of 5 seconds, but now we will see how it goes with 5 seconds. So if you have any boot questions, how to use Super Grub2 Disk, you have any Linux questions, you can ask, because I'm doing this all of the stream, so doesn't matter. One more question. So boot manually Linux from boot partition. What's going on here? So different print. What? What the hell is all this about? Why are different? This is not working properly. Let me see. This is not path title and it's different and whatnot. Why? So we have path check. we have this thing here, printed path. What the hell is this? Oh, wait a minute. I just need to echo this at the very top, and then we can see how printed path gets. If it's different, then you change printed path. Yeah, okay, so this needs to be here, because otherwise I was getting, so these are different than print. Okay, now this is going to be much better than we had before. So commit amend. Now it seems like it seemed like Grub2 didn't work as expected, but now I see that yes, it did work as expected. The only problem that was here was that, you know, I was not doing the print on the right place. So number 2, so that we would Super Grub2 Disk boot manually and Linux from boot partition. Let's see what the hell are we doing wrong here. So the first time they are different, so we print, then no print. Let's see if we manage to find out. So this should be all of the loops that we have here. Okay, no print. I wonder what's the problem here. So we always loop this thing here. Okay, look at that. GPT-2 and GPT-3 are different. Why GPT-2 has been why is GPT-2 here? This is not right. Why printed path gets changed here? That's what I don't understand, unless the function here, which I have done, has printed. Oh, look at that, printed fs tab. This is not right, although even if this is not right, you shouldn't be updating. Where the hell is this? Printed path, fs tab to check, fs tab, fs type, fs tab to check, fs tab to check. Yeah, printed LFB is tough. Yeah, I guess. But do you think this is going to fix anything? I don't think so. Okay, so first of all, let's take a look at this thing here. So this is a fix that we want to have here in all of the stuff. And then I also want to take a look at here at this debug, which is this is changed onto something else. So printed path, damn it, printed path, which is the second is changed to printed path. Okay. Printed path, which is the second on this thing here, is changed to this. And so now I can add this as a commit regarding the back, which is going to be the back number 2. And by the way, let's change this to 4 seconds so that it doesn't take so long to work. Maybe 3 seconds. 2 seconds is too much for me, but 3 seconds I think we will be fine. So we can amend just the last commit here. So once we have all of this, we should be able to reset all of these. We can build this stuff here. We have 5 people watching the stream, so you might want to ask your Linux question, your boot question, or whatever free as and freedom software question you have. Okay. It's not going to be everything to be watching me trying to figure out what's wrong in this code. Okay, so empty and GPT-1 it has changed, so printed path is changed to this thing here, and I want to know when the hell this is changing this not in the right way, because it's very confusing. Who the hell is changing HD1 GPT-2? This doesn't make any sense. No one is changing GPT-2. I mean, the first one, wait a minute, the first one, oh, so when you loop, let's see what's happening here. So when you loop the devices, but so when you loop the devices, so it's so what actually happens is that GPT-2 is found, then GPT-2 is found, but why is this, why do you detect anything in the first place? That's something that I don't understand at all, because boot path should be empty in the first place. I mean, what the hell is this? So this boot path thing should be empty on the first place, unless it's not empty. Oh, take a look at this. Boot path is this thing here, /boot, and we don't want this anymore. I wonder if this has made some problems somewhere. What is this? What is this? What? Can you be more specific? Yeah. Okay, now we have kernel is number 4, which is not found here. Yeah, I have no idea. I think I should start again or something like that, so that I don't lose too much time. So Bir, please specify what's your question, so that I can understand what you are referring to, because usually there is, are you a hacker? I program. I'm not. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm a hacker, but you know, it's called debugging. Yeah. So OS detect boot Linux. So let me see. Commit debug 3. So debugging. What's debug meaning? Yeah, identify and remove errors from computer hardware or software, and we should have, look at that, multi-step process that involves identifying a problem, isolating the source of the problem, and everything. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to debug this function here, which prints or not a title based on checking some variables. So with an echo and sleep, you can see how all of these values are being changed in real time to know what the hell you have done wrong with your programming skills, with your program. Okay, and that's what debugging means. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do here, because this should be much nicer than we have here, and that's not the case. And you know, so HTTP 1, 2, and 3, and whatever. Wait a minute. Partition to check printed path. Let's take a look and see where printed path it is. So printed path, it's only changed here. That's the only place where I want to change this, and then we export it. I mean, it's also changed here in process option, but otherwise, how can I learn in this skill, bro? I needed much with just Linux. Yeah, I mean, it's not like you want this thing with Linux. You know, this is more for programming stuff. The only thing I might advise you to use is this thing, which is set x and set -b in bash. Okay, and but this is something that you don't want to do. I mean, so team bash test delete me. So if you do something like my test.sh and you've gotten a small script, this is the only thing that maybe it's useful if you want to have more expertise in Linux or something like that. So you can say, I'm sure what to do here. You can say something like for file in every txt, then echo file found file. Okay, let's put here and file. So you can do something like this. Okay, and then you can say one txt to txt. So what you have here is this mytest.txt and 2.txt, which have 1 and 2. So if you run this, if you give what's the name, if you give these execution permissions, you can run this and it will show you that file found 1 and file found 1 too. Okay, so here if you want to learn what the different scripts do, you can write these two lines, set -v and set -x. Just save and exit and you run again. Let me clear the screen for you. You run this again and you're going to see how first of all there's a loop on for file, then it echoes the first one, then you see how this program is being run, and what this program does is just prints stuff. Then you go again in the same loop because there's another file, then you see the file that the program that is going to about to be run, and then the program is run. Okay, and that's easy sometimes to figure out what's going on here without using a specific debugger, and that's what I'm actually doing in here, because I don't understand why the hell path to check. I don't understand path menu. I don't understand why this is changed in the first place. Who the hell is modifying printed path? That's what I don't understand here. So let's try this again. So we don't need to do anything else, but anyways, we ask for this, we close, and you put all of this. Yeah, you are a beginner of Linux. I guess there are better channels than mine to find out Linux beginners stuff, because this is too much high level. I mean, it's very nice to being able to boot into your system when it doesn't boot by the normal means. Okay, now let's take a look. Wait a minute, look at that printed path, which is the second one, is changed into HTTP3. Okay, so now the second one is the same thing. Yeah, I mean, it seems like something that can note to load reference module. This is the mrem mode, isn't it? So here we have another partition, so it's different than we print. Okay, and then I guess that we go into the same partition and we've got the same thing. Yeah. Wait a minute. Should we print here? The FS tab title or the other one? Yeah, thank you, Bear. So FS tab title. So if we loop file system twice, then we've got this stuff. We don't want to loop devices twice, actually. So if we don't want to loop file system twice, we actually want to change the loop here, so that this is inside of this. So actually you want to do this loop about FS tab many times in here, isn't it? Although it's not very nice, it's maybe what we want to do. Let's do one thing. If I remove path title, so what happens if I remove path title here and path title here, and let's just use FS tab title and that's it, because it's the one that doesn't move so much. Okay, so hit diff, hit add. I'm not sure if this is in the back or not. Let's say that this is number 6, change here, hit reset this thing here. So we close this and let's go. Press ask number 2. Boot manually Linux from boot partition. Okay. So we have one of these ones here. And then we don't have the files here. Why is that? Why don't we have the kernel here? What the hell have we done wrong here so that there's no kernel? That's the real problem here. We don't have the kernel and I don't know why. So I should compare with OS Detect Linux manually, because these are not exactly the same files. So on this side here, Okay, so we have regular file system here and regular file system here. Okay, so wait a minute, what the hell is this? So I have removed the boot stuff here, but not here. That's why I am not able to find anything. I mean, I'm finding stuff, but not what I want to do. So now this is more or less fixed, although although I'm not sure. Okay, so this is number 7 thing. Now if I'm good enough, I will be able to do something useful here. Press ask number 2, boot manually Linux from boot partition. Not detected. That's what's supposed to be happening here. Finally. So now I want to go into, I don't care, into Ubuntu. So Linux. Oh my god. Now we're going to have this debug stuff all of the way, even if we don't actually need it right now. But in any way, the printed path thing, it's confusing, because if you loop 2 3 2 3, if you loop all of this, so the loop is wait, okay, so just put here in Ubuntu, I don't care. In Ubuntu we have some space here, so we should be fine. So the root partition, it's going to be the boot partition, because I say so. So here we have this stuff. So here in boot partition we're going to copy I mean, what the hell can we copy here? VM Linux 113 generic, and also init rd 113 generic. We're going to copy it here, and I think we should be fine. I mean, there's this config thing, but I don't think it's actually needed. We will see how it goes without that config thing. So now if we reboot, press S number 10. If we reboot and we go into Linux from boot partition, it should detect these kernels here. Okay, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. So we've got the fstab thing, which is here. So this is the boot partition. /boot. Just put partition. We will be able to put this stuff or not. Oh, look at that. It works. This is working. So, this is working. Let's reset. So this has boot properly, but I don't like the UI for all of this. Why don't I have any message about finding everything? It's very strange. Maybe it goes fast. Wait a minute. Why do we have Ubuntu FS level here if it's actually the Debian one? This is not right. This is not right. We are missing something here. FS stuff, FS type. Let me see. From FS stuff dev. Yeah, this is probably something that needs to be empty so that it works as expected. And then there's this devices to loop thing that it's concerning because devices to loop is set here. So it's all of this once you find some of them. Yeah, okay, so file system identified. This is not actually used here, or is it? FS subtitle uses. What do we have here as FS type title? FS type. FS type. Yeah, this is not very good, I think. This should be FS type. FS type. That way it's much, we don't have too much problems here. label empty, label def, and so on. Yeah, maybe we should do something like this: fstab def and fstab def, so that we don't have any of these problems. This def one here, wait a minute, what is this def thing here? We don't have any of this. Let me just open tools.cfg at the very bottom, so that it's much easier to work out what this is about. Oh, look at that. This def, it's not something that you put yourself here, but you hope it has been used here properly. So path title, path menu. Yeah, okay, and that's why this is not very good thing to have here. So we need the def here actually, because otherwise this is not working properly. But this is something that we need to fix. So where the hell is all of this? Def should be passed as an argument. So this def thing here that we have, if you take a look and search for OS detect boot Linux, we have this fs type title thing. Actually, it's here on the top, and it's using def as the def, and that doesn't make any sense. You have to actually use fs tab def for this, or just shut your mouth, because that's what you do. So now this fstab def should match whatever we have here, and maybe it's going to work a much better way than before, but we will see how it goes. So hit diff. Yes, so this thing here, this is number 8. Then we need to squash everything because we have lots of stuff here. Let's remove this. I mean, I could sort of do everything in one go, but I prefer to do this manually. So press ask number 2, boot manually Linux from boot partition. Okay, now we have the labels properly done. Okay, we can say something like so that the title is is this? So there's this thing here. So this is wait a minute. Where's the other title? Is the FS tab title, isn't it? Which is actually this one here with kernel, and then you select with Linux kernel, whatever. Okay. And maybe in the menu entry that we have here, we can even remove this Linux thing here. Yeah, okay. So this would be something like so number 9. And I'm a bit confused about debug stuff. Why don't we have any debug so far? So we had some changes here on the we have this sleep thing, 3 seconds, and I mean, we don't have that because path title is not being called. Because we don't think path title being here is a bad thing to have. So path title. Okay, let me see. Hit diff, hit add, so this is number 10, and then I just want to revert whatever change we did here, which I guess I have somewhere. This debug stuff that we should have here. Debug path title. Wait. Cherry pick onto. Oh, I didn't know you could do this from here. I'm going to do this manually later on. It's going to be much easier to do. So debug path title. Yeah, I need to rebase this because this one here, number 3, it's not right. Let me rebase this real quick, because otherwise this is not going to work. So this needs to reword. This needs to be boot from Linux partition 5.5. Let's see. Oh wait. Stupid of me. We need the actual commit, otherwise 5.5. Let's just copy this thing just in case. Let's copy. Yeah, so this thing here, and that's it. So now we should be able to find this 5.5, and then we can just undo these two stuffs, two commits, revert this commit and revert this commit. So let's do it real quick. So I want to revert the second one, and then I want to revert the first one, and damn it, we should be fine. I'm not sure. Yeah, I have managed to close Dolphin. So wait a minute, it's so late. Why is that? I didn't realize that it was so late. What's your problem? Why is there now? I think we are fine. Let's see. Let's close this and let's see how it looks like. Everything here. I mean, now I understand why we could have some path titles being different, but even then, I don't know. So let me see. Boot manually. Linux from boot partition. Linux from boot partition. So we have this Ubuntu FS label, and then why don't we have the next one, F? So this thing which Linux kernel, so this does not nothing with Linux kernel, this or this or this. I don't understand what's all of this about. Why don't we have the path title properly on the next one? Path to check is the def one. Path menu def. Path menu def. The first one. Path to check. Path to check. So path to check is actually the def, isn't it? I mean, although you have the path, which is actually the second one. I don't know. Path title. Yeah, so I guess that the next time you go here, the def is still the same one. That doesn't make any sense. So the idea is that so this path title is about the FS tab being found, isn't it? I mean, it would make sense that it's the FS tab if this is dev, but this is not the case. So I'm not sure what's going on here. I mean, this should be down here, path title, when we have different def, which is what should happen here. So I'm not sure what's going on here, if I'm being honest. So the FS tab def, or yes, changes, but unless get device, it's using device or something inside of it, and then we are getting some strange results because of that. No, it's not. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here, if I'm being honest. Get device and get the file system. So it seems to start to be working, but okay, I'm going to squash everything here, and yeah, Linux boot from boot partition. We need to figure out why path title is not finding, it's not detecting the change. It's not changing the test. Maybe related to def back above. Problem about def is if it's the case, we need to modify a lot of stuff there. Yeah, to the path title def back above, and because the idea is that so now that we know the FS tab title, the path title should be on each time that you have a kernel. So this should be the other way around. So this should go after the path title. So this path title should be here. Okay. This def thing is being changed. again, I don't know. That's the problem. I mean, I want to end here the stream, and also this path title thing. So if this is, where is it? So if we have a path title here with a path menu, and I want to have two spaces here, I actually want a path title to be here, so that, yeah, maybe recreate path title and path menu inside OS detect boot Linux, so that we can have a custom ident. So that partitions make more sense there. So hit status. Yeah, Docker, reset everything. Let's build everything. Where the hell is this? Let's put all of this. So now number 2, next boot from boot partition, whatever. Okay, yeah, no. Why don't we have a partition here next to this one here? That's what I don't get with all of this. And here we should have like 2 more of this. I want this ident thing. No. Maybe we should just remove. Maybe we should just remove, you know, maybe we should just remove this, but because even if it's useful, it's going to be very complicated to see. I think this is one of the cases where you don't want to fiddle around, but this is something. So let's write it down. We might end up removing the path title altogether, but we need to fix this bug if it's a bug. I mean, actually, what I guess is happening here is what happened before. Then when you loop twice the same thing, you get to go into the same partitions again. So the first one okay, yeah. So you have the outer loop is this thing here, which is GPT-3. This is the outer loop. And side loop is this one here, which has Ubuntu and should also have Debian, and it's here. Wait a minute. Debian FS label with Linux kernel. This is not right. With Linux kernel. We are doing something wrong here. Now I'm seeing it. We are doing something wrong in here. This with Linux kernel thing. So this FS tab menu thing should only be happening when you found something related to FS tab menu with Linux kernel. Because this is only once. The only place where there is oh no, because this is FS tab, so FS tab oh, this is the partition for Linux kernel, and this is the same partition, so you've got the same thing here. So this is one of the times where you want to actually print everything twice. Okay, you want to print this twice, so path menu, and that's it. So you don't actually want to use path title but path menu, because you want to print this always. So where the hell is this? Let me see. Path menu. So path menu. I hate all of this. So path menu. The first one is dev, the second one is the second one, which is also dev, and the last one is fs type. Okay, let's do the same thing down here. So this path menu thing, so the second one is the path, first one is dev, second one is the path. Okay, so basically it's just writing down what we already had. So we actually have a need of having extra, so we want discarded all of the above. what we actually want is path menu with an additional option, so that we have additional indenting, so that we have custom indent. Okay, where's the custom indent, because otherwise, so path menu and all of this, custom indent, so that, I mean, actually the path place here could be changed to something else, so that it has space path. With a custom indent. That's what we want, custom indent. So now OS detect something, number 12, and now this should work more or less like the thing we want to test. Let's see. So press ask, number 2. Boot manually, Linux from boot partition. And here it is. So this is from, wait, each one of these has, you want to be the same path menu here and here, but not on these ones in the middle. So why is there a space here? Have we managed to put more than one space? FS tab title, path menu. Where is the menu entry stuff? Menu entry for this thing here. Kernel option. So kernel option is like this, because it's in space if you don't have anything. So that's what we want here, and space, and then we don't want anything here but the FS tab title, which only changes when so maybe we want to have here some file option str, something like that. Kernel. I mean, hit if. Hit reset. Let's put everything. Okay, let's see how it looks like, and we might just okay. So we have this thing here that we have this kernel with these options. So this partition with this kernel of this partition with this kernel. Why is there the /boot thing? That's not something that we want. This is confusing at all. Actually, this is the /boot partition. Yeah, let's remove this /boot thing from here, because otherwise it's very confusing. Where the hell is this here? Yeah, like this. Okay, so now I mean, I should amend because we are putting so many commits for all of this. So let's test this, and if it works, I mean, I will squash tomorrow probably, or maybe now. I'm not sure about that. So ask number 2, boot manually Linux from boot partition. So with Linux kernel, this one here, recovery mode single, and then you can find out different kernels and whatever. So you have more than one partition with this. I mean, actually, this is the boot partition, not the /boot, but you know, Linux from boot partition. So you know that these Linux are on the boot partition. Yeah, okay. I think we should be fine with this. Yeah. That's right. We should be fine with this. But it's interesting the order of this stuff here. Okay, let's try to create. So let's take a look how we rebase all of this. So we want to rebase all of this, so it's going to be def 41. So check out 2.03 s3 def 41 as def 42. I mean 33, and then we cherry pick whatever we want manually, because I have found out that you can do this like that. So I can cherry pick onto def 33. Now let's reload all of this. So this one here, cherry pick onto what? Why isn't it this here? What? I don't understand anything. Okay, here it is. Def 33. Same thing here. 43. 43. 43. Nice. 43. Nice. 43. Nice. 43. 43. 43. 43. This is much easier than what I did originally. Okay, so 43, 43, 43, and 43. So now we can go to 43 thing here and just do a rebase of, I don't know, 15. Oh, it has worked perfectly. So should squash everything here and we should be fine to boot Linux from boot partition. That's it. I mean, we could try to do this different way, but you know, I think it's quite good with that. And yeah, Linux kernels, boot position, yeah, I mean, because the other way around is repeating the FS tab, but we don't want to do that. So unless you have a path title that takes two of these ones, and that way this is what you are checking. You are actually checking the path and the other path. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So are you telling me that if you put the path twice, no, because you have to have so if I changed yeah, I mean, let's try to do this real quick. So you check out this thing in there. Secure boot thing. I mean, actually, we could actually push this so that this is not lost. Okay, so press ask number 2 boot panel Linux from boot partition. If the path title uses so you want to save the first one, which is the files fstab1, and then if there's any change of partition, then there's a change. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I can print this here. Where is it? I can do the print menu thing here outside of this stuff, and that way it's always the right thing to do, because you want to just show which is, but you don't want to show this for each one of them. Or do you? Do you want to show for each one of them or not? No, you don't want to do so, but at the same time, yeah, I don't know. Well, we have just removed the path title line, but we might want to explore it again. So for now this is right, but it would be nice to have here something related to this partition, so that if you have more than one kernels, you can if you have more than one partition with all of these, you can group them properly with all of these, but you know, it's something that I will have to do manually later on. Also add more kernels to Ubuntu pseudo boot partition, and add kernels to Debian so that it has a pseudo boot partition. That way we can test all of these and see where to put the path title and how it should be working. Wait a minute. In each one of the fs tab loops, printed device, printed partition, is it this one? Printed partition is the one I'm looking for, or is it not? Tools.cft. Printed path should be set to empty so that it starts again, and that's it. So I had one of these path title stuff. What the hell is this? Path title instead of path menu. Where the hell are you? So fs title, path title, path title, path title, path title, so in each one of these loops, yeah, so look at that. Path title is this thing here, and we also have path title with the symbol path thing. So path title, wait a minute, show where I am. Path title should be here, and we want an ident path, and then fs tab path title, fs tab path title, and here we have fs tab path title. Wait, we have left a path title here, I mean a path menu. That was not right. And so the idea is that what we have set, printed path should be empty here. So in each one of these loops, printed path is empty because that's what it is. Printed path is empty. That way we can the devices to loop printed path. Yeah. I mean, actually, yeah, that makes sense. Each time you find the new one, then the printed path is empty. I don't know if I want to put it here or somewhere else, if I'm being honest. I mean, this would probably yeah, this should be done here, and I'm not sure if it's going to break any of what we already have here. detect boot detect OS boot. Okay, so this is without any space. And if you find anything here, then put the path is empty so that you start over. And yeah, the problem about this thing is that it loops twice everything. I don't know, maybe maybe it's a good reason that it's the last one. So let me see. OS detect put Linux thing. So this is now number 2, if I'm not mistaken. This is def 43. Okay. Hopefully we can test this, and now it works as expected, because right now I'm not very sure about that. But in any case, that's what we actually want to test. So boot manually Linux from boot partition. Okay, so here we have the init for Ubuntu FS label, and this is Ubuntu FS label again. Yeah, look at that. This makes sense now. And we want the init. Yeah. Okay. So let's write it down and we call it a day. Here it is. What we actually want is path menu. No, what we actually want is path title with an additional option that so that we can have a custom init. Also add more kernels in there and whatever. I want what else. Okay. To keep working here. Yeah, so now we have this thing here, which is we should have some commit here. Haven't we pushed anything that says that this is fixed here? Wait a minute. So def 43. Yeah, why? Oh, it doesn't say anything about fixes this thing or fixes the other one. That's concerning, because we will have to recreate this with the fixes. Yeah, let's rebase. Let's commit amend the last one, so that we have this thing about the fixes, this commit here, so that we don't forget about this. So we can rebase it later on. Okay, so that's all for today. So we have almost this thing here. Do they say anything? React OS, Debian CD. What the hell? Claims going to bed night all. Thank you. Done. So they have managed to release 12.6. That's interesting. Risk. Okay, so as I said, that's everything for today. So thank you very much. Bye.